Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to our EdQueries e-learning platform, a library of games and activities where we make learning fun for our children. So today's topic is about time. How do we teach time to our children? And as we say, necessity is the mother of, all inventions. When I started with Karthik also, there were a lot of concepts which were tough for me, as I have told in my previous, videos also, like how to introduce MRP, how to practice more of addition, how to, make sight words fun. So queries and apps were helping me a lot in these way. That's one way we were generalizing the concept. So now for quite some time, I am, doing time with him. And in time also, as usual, I started with a clock. In the clock, I showed him all the numbers which are there in the clock, the hands that are there in the clock. And I made sure that I use the correct name. So if it's not just small hand and big hand, the small hand is called the hour hand and the big hand is also called the minute hand. So I kept on, reiterating that thing again. Yes, initially, when I do this with some children, it gives a blank look, you don't even know if the child is understanding or not understanding. Many a times it happens with me when I'm doing some tough concepts, but over a period of time, when I'm doing it again and again, as a special educator, as sitting with my student or with my own son, I sometimes get that feel, oh, this one is clicking, So parents, this comes with a lot and lots of practice, Even for a simple addition, it took me more than 1.5 years to teach him just addition. So patience, a lot of repetitive activities, a lot of practice is how our children get each and every concept. So once you have introduced time, on a clock, you've shown him the numbers which are there, the hours, and you've taught him to read the hourly time. Then the next thing to do is to generalize. So to generalize, we can have lots of worksheets. We can even have apps like EdQueries or e-learning sites like EdQueries for our children to practice. So let me share the screen. So I hope the screen is visible. So we go to all courses and time comes in math. Here in math, level 2, we have time. Here is time. Now, in any concept, when you're teaching concept like money or we are teaching a concept like time, first and foremost thing is to familiarize the child with that thing, that item which we are going to teach. What are its parts? What are its components? Okay. So even in time, we started with the basics. The basic was basically to know the numbers, fill in the numbers in the clock. So again and again, I'm repeating, please introduce the concept in a concrete format or with the real object. Then go to a lot of games or flashcards, then come to worksheets, and then you can generalize. Along with it, you can generalize in any platform or e-learning websites. So
write the correct number into the clock.
Here, in fact, yesterday only Karthik was playing this game. And here, if you see, I told him, okay, Karthik, see the numbers here are from 1 to 12. Now, which number is missing here? So he had to just put and
good job.
Submit it.
Drag the correct number into the clock to fill the blank.
Now, it happened in between. He was getting confused.
Excellent.
It is not as easy as what is the next number or what comes after 1 or 2. The child had to see the gap in between. So a person like Karthik who knows numbers, what comes after very easily, and that's the easiest thing to do also. What comes after is what children pick up. Still, he was getting confused here. So I made him do this activity again and again, so that it's thorough in his mind.
Well done.
So once this was done, the next thing to do was basically identifying the hour clock.
In this game,
So
look
here
at
there
the
were
clock
three options, and
select the correct
I have
time. Then click submit.
I have noticed now for Karthik doing games like this, specifically things like money or time or +1 or +2 kind of activities is easier on an app rather than on paper. So I, simultaneously do both of them. I give him a lot of practice in this so that the success rate is higher and he is happy. And then I do not leave the paper. So many a times the +1 things, he's or +2 things. +1 he has rote learned. +2 he uses the calculator for it. So there is no harm in following multiple methods. The basic idea is the child should get the concept. The concept has to be generalized across all platforms. So
3. Excellent. Select.
So
So, 5.
supposing
That's not correct.
I
Look at the
chose the
correct
wrong
answer.
answer, and then what
The
happens?
small hand is pointing at 2. So it is 2 o'clock. Let's try the next one. Select.
So
4.
game, which is called the set the time.
In this case,
This is something
listen
which I
carefully
personally like
and
because here the child is,
our hand to set the time.
has to do
3
it
o'clock.
by himself. He has to move the hands, So if you have to move to 3 o'clock here, you get it here and
Well done.
submit it.
2
So
o'clock.
much more of, direct experiential learning. So you have an audio and a visual. So
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock and the visual is also there. The child
Good job.
do it.
4 o'clock.
The next one, once the hourly time is done, is to introduce the child to, half hour. So basically, there are, parents would ask, why not introduce the minutes, 5, 10, 15, 20, Yes, some children get that very easily because it follows the table of 5 and they are able to, immediately relate. Okay, after every 5 minutes is the next number. But for certain children who have, I mean, like for Karthik and all, I realized understanding 5, 10, 15 was getting tough. So I stuck to the hour and the half hour thing. And my plan basically for him is to teach the digital clock more. We have it here. I'll be coming to that also. So based on your child's ability, parents try to, choose games accordingly. So it's not that I've said, so you just skip the 5, 10, 15. No, 5, 10, 15. You can teach him that if your child is able to get it easily and is able to read an analog clock. Otherwise, there is always an option for a digital clock also.
In this game, look at the clock, then select the correct time, then click submit. Select 7th. Excellent.
Many times kids, after the hourly and half hourly and the half hourly time is introduced, I've seen many times the children are getting confused by it. So the basic idea is to practice it across, all available mediums. So we have a 15 minutes and a 45 minutes timer also. Time also, see, 45 minutes.
In this game, write the correct answer in the
So
box.
if you
Tell
see,
the time as shown on the clock.
the child is given options to
Then
drag and
submit.
drop the correct time.
Answer. Well done. Answer.
So now in the same time, we were talking about the time in minutes.
Look at the minute hand and drag the correct number into the clock to fill the
So
blank.
this is where the children who understand the minutes ka concept, who understand that after every 5 minutes, the clock keeps on
How
increasing.
many minutes is the minutes hand showing?
This game will help them to practice this. So we have 5, 10 and 50.
Good job. How many minutes is the minutes hand showing?
So when we give a multiple choice question, the thing, we are actually cutting down the inherent processing delays which are there in children with autism, when they have to actually visualize everything from a scratch. vis-a-vis they have a set of answers in front of them. It's easier for them to choose from a set of a multiple choice answer, So initially, it's always better to give them a multiple choice
Good
question
job.
or a visual
How
representation.
many minutes is the minutes hand showing?
Now, similarly, I'm not going into the hour clock. We've done that.
Select the matching 24 hours clock time, 1 p.m.
So for those of us, I am personally a little challenged with the 24-hour clock. I still need to count in my fingers to identify. But we know the airlines and the railway timetable follows a 24-hour clock. So that's another challenge now I have, how to teach that, especially when I'm doing homeschooling with Karthik. But yes, this is an important concept and this needs to be taught to the children and practiced also. So here, okay, 1 o'clock is easy. It's 13, so after 12. Um, well, just so this is like a
select the matching 24 hours clock time, 5 p.m.
So I checked this before I shot the video. So this is the 24-hour clock. And then, as I said, the digital clock. So for those children who find it difficult to read the analog clock, I'm facing it personally. So I switched on to the digital clock. I got a digital clock, though I'm yet to practice that because he's still stuck at that half hour thing. But I have got it. And yesterday, while speaking to another set of parents, I realized that for their son, the digital clock was helping. And so
shown
so why not, practice
like
that.
this.
So this is a listen and learn activity
This is
offered.
called a digital clock.
Digital clock.
In a digital clock, these are the hours and these are the minutes. In this picture, the digital clock is showing the time as 6 o'clock. Congratulations.
So there was a brief introduction about the digital clock. Many of our games, start with this listen and learn. And then you have the digital clock time.
See the clock carefully and select the correct option.
So you're matching the analog clock with the digital time. So it's 7.
Well done.
6.
Very good.
The same one, the same game we have in another format. So look at the variety of ways, a child is getting. So there was a multiple choice, and here the child is dragging himself. So the child is himself doing it, So here it is 30, 6:30, and 10.
Very good, Frank.
So a lot of practice, for our children, a lot of ways to practice the same concept again and again. So, and just stop sharing. So when we practice a concept in different ways, in different, formats across the available multisensory approach, as we say, our children get these concepts faster and the retention power is more. They learn the concept also and they retain it, they remember it. So with that, I come to an end to the module called Time. I hope, you enjoyed it. Do join our edqueries.com website. Go in for a free trial and practice these games. Thank you so much.